Hey everybody, it is a gorgeous late August day in New England. I'm really happy to be here with you with Banjo Quest. Today we are going to take a look at Tommy Jarrell's version of Backstep Cindy in D that we started working on last week. We're going to look in particular at his way of playing the Galax Lick. It's beautiful, it's elegant, it's complicated, it's kind of difficult, but I'm going to simplify it for you today on Banjo Quest. Let's get started right away. Okay, so all tabs for this are available for my patrons over at Patreon. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm hearing Tommy play it in the recording that we quoted last week. And then I'm going to provide you guys with a simpler version, a non-Galax Lick version. So those beginners out there who are struggling with the Galax Lick, you can bypass this if you just want to learn the tune. I've got an alternative for you that will appear at the end of this video. All right, let's launch into it. The Galax Lick as played by Tommy Jarrell. All right, a little bit faster. All right, let's get this thing cranking. And I'm going to try to play it faster. So when Tommy fans that fifth string, he really is keeping beautiful time. When I was first learning this technique way back, I really struggled with keeping good time, especially when I was playing at speed. So the way I figured out how to do this for myself and the way I want to pass it on to you guys is that I broke the clawhammer golden rule. So what is the clawhammer golden rule? The golden rule is this: every time you throw your hand down into the banjo, your thumb contacts a string simultaneous to the downstroke. So every time I toss my hand into the banjo, I'm either tagging that thumb string or I'm tagging an inner string for drop thumb at the same time as I'm doing my downstroke. Now the inverse is true. The other side of this coin is that every time I leave the banjo to prepare for my next downstroke, my thumb comes with me simultaneous to the upstroke, regardless of whether or not I am sounding a string. Okay, so that's the golden rule of clawhammer. Let's just get that out of the way. So the upshot of the golden rule is that the hand operates as a single unit. Instead of picking our strings with individual finger motions, we're using the entire hand to generate all of our sound. Thus, the name clawhammer. The way I figured out how to do a really good fanning of the fifth string is by breaking that rule. I'm actually separating out my thumb, which is directly against this golden rule. I freeze my hand and I let my thumb pick the fifth string. And I would literally sit with a metronome for what seemed like hours at the time trying to learn this technique. So we can play it slow, or you can get it going faster. So I would practice this and make sure it was precise, make sure all of the notes had the same volume and the same time, and I would just separate out that thumb and fan that fifth string, and then later I would incorporate it into a Galax Lick. One of the things I've observed is that when people try to do this, they're trying to keep that clawhammer rhythm going. And that ends up being fine at slow tempos, but it really slows you down. It doesn't allow you to achieve the speed and drive a tempo that you might find yourself playing this tune in a jam or a dance situation. So that's just a little tip. Separate out your thumb and get it fanning that fifth string. It is a great technique for just blowing out all the eighth notes and having a nice, beautiful, clear quarter note timekeeping on the downbeat with the fifth string. All right, let me show you the simplified version of this. So if you can't play the Galax Lick, that's okay. The Galax Lick is a really hard technique, especially to play it really well and have it be accurate and sweet. It's taken me a long time to get my Galax Lick to where I'm reasonably happy with it, and when I play it, I still hear things that I want to work on and sort out. If you're struggling with the Galax Lick and just want to learn this tune, here is an alternative for you. So let me play that for you faster. The nice thing about this simple pattern is you're not having to worry about the arpeggio of the Galax Lick, but you still are able to put the fifth string on the downbeat. And I think that is a really important thing to learn how to do, even in the beginning, because it shows you how to control your thumb, which I think is an essential part of becoming a really good clawhammer player. And for you advanced players out there, this simple version, you should still learn it. In fact, maybe you should focus on it if you're really good at the first pattern that I showed you, because it is tricky. You've got to be very disciplined about that slide. It's got to be right in order for your timing to be good. So for you advanced players who have mastered the Galax Lick, put this simplified version up against a metronome and test how you're doing, see how it sounds. And you can always use it as a variation. So instead of playing that Galax Lick every time through the A part of Backstep Cindy, now you've got an alternative, you've got a good variation that you can deploy at will. All right, that is it for today. We are going to dive deep on Backstep Cindy next week, and we're going to learn the rest of the entire tune. Remember, tab is available at Patreon. I'm going to tab out Tommy's playing note for note, and we'll visit that next week, and we'll talk about what makes his playing and this tune so special. All right, we'll see you. Have a good weekend.